her there. So that's a good bit of fielding from the skipper Hall, getting the team up and about. She's got some shoulder issues, Jeff, so every time she throws, she looks like she's got the numbest right arm I've ever seen. Dangles down by her side.
So the short side's now the offside. They've got a deep cover out, and also Vakaroa at the deep square leg position on the far side. Other than that, conventional field, backward point, cover, mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket, backward square leg. Lanning's just driving down to mid-off, no run. She hits it straight to Erica Kershaw. Plenty of time. Lanning, a player who can take her time and then really motor when she sets herself. Back on her stumps, cuts hard but stopped at backward point by Smith. There'll be no run.
Hasn't point been proved once again to be such a vital position throughout this tournament? Having a very good fielder there is key, because not only Lanning obviously peppers that area, but lots of balls fly there.
Tryon flighting this delivery. Down the pitch comes Lanning and lofts it down the ground. It's just pitched and stopped as it rolls down towards long on. Comes to a halt and doesn't reach the boundary for 4. Carey's able to track it down, keep them to a couple. Lanning on to 10, Villani on 12. It's none for 23. After 2 overs, Chloe Tryon conceding 9 from her first. Vakaroa 14 with the boundary from the final ball.
Well, already looking like the Stars are enjoying their work. It can be, especially when the pitch you're playing on is on this far left as we're looking down at wicket, it just turns into a batting paradise even more so, doesn't it? Because you can get tempted by that short boundary. And these two at the moment, what they've done really well is they haven't actually just only focused on the short boundary. So they're playing the cricket shots that each ball deserves, and the rest of the
It will be the last one his grandchildren spend with him, if we can. Well, there's the thing, but do you care about Christmas? 85058.
Let's speak to Dr. Elisabetta Grappelli, virologist, lecturer in global health at St George's University, London. Hi, Elisabetta.
Hello, Rachel.
Some people saying too early.
With Gleisner were a couple. And so, but I love doing stuff with Mick, and we had done pilots for The Late Show at Channel 9 in 1990, 2 years before it got up on the ABC. And Mick and I had done a lot of work together in that pilot, and we really wanted to do more stuff together. So it was like we were cheating on our partners within the group.
It's a bit grubby.
So we got a Sunday night show, and also we wanted to do longer segments. In breakfast radio, the segments are very short. We wanted to do much longer stuff. So we got a show on Sunday nights called Bull.
Bellamy won't be able to just give it away and walk away comfortably until he knows that he's shot and he needs a rest. And I wouldn't put it past him if Bellamy does.
They're all worried over there.
Yeah. But look, it's a 6-day hard and fast shutdown, and the reason is hopefully that means it won't last as long as yours.
Well, we had 6 weeks and it ended up being 16.
I know. So who knows? That could happen, but I think it's, that's why they're doing it, strong and fast and hard.
I hope so. Hope it works.
So do I, Gary. So do I. Do you know how you say goodbye in Spanish?
Adios.
Adios. Yes, correct.
Ten beat 4 Sherwood Bale 840, 8 Mahogany Queen no third, 6 Adalia Bale fourth, and at Redcliffe 3 Mac Chalk $4 2.60, 7 Breach The Beach 170, 2 Only in Rome no third, 1 Life's a Jungle fourth.
Racing first to leave Dynamic Force over I Am the Sheriff. Lord Lonsdale is quickly rolling forward in search of the lead. Man of the Hour is going to posse up, being forward soon after, then Safe to Make Up. Black Ruby Rose getting back his pass around. Around it goes Zip Zam Zoom, followed further back by Hollyoak, Designer Prince, and settling back last of all is See Ya Champ. 1150 to go now, and they start to sort themselves out, working down the riverside where Lord Lonsdale held control by a length over Man of the Hour. Running third is Dynamic Force. I Am the Sheriff is fourth. Around the outside, Zip Zam Zoom is being forced to cover extra ground. Then came Black Ruby Rose, tucked away down on the inside of Safe to Make Up. A little over a length pass around. The stablemate is next, a length off them. Hollyoak, Designer Prince, and
Sweet. You got it, Heather. All right, well.
Defend today, secure tomorrow, #Protect2020. The former CIA director, John Brennan, agrees it's fair to call the president's behaviour unhinged.
Well, it is. He's just brooding in the White House right now, and it clearly shows that he is impulsive, he is reckless, and he will do things because he can do it, which makes it very, very dangerous, I think, from the standpoint of our national security and our homeland security.
There's been drama in Michigan's vote count. Wayne County takes in Detroit and is known as a Democrat stronghold. But Republican members of its elections board initially refused to certify
from the standpoint of our national security and our homeland security.
Actually less clerical errors than in past elections.
Ms Benson expects the results for the entire state of Michigan will be certified in the next few days, formally giving Joe Biden the state's 16 electoral college votes. And the Trump campaign's efforts to dispute the election results elsewhere aren't going well either. Republicans lost a case in the
somebody else. And when I donated the money to the COVID fund, I just wanted it to do good, and evidently it is. And let's just hope we find a cure real soon.
That was Dolly Parton on
way through to the city. Also, there's busy conditions also on Coronation Drive inbound from Auckland Flower all the way through to the city. And the ICB is very heavy at the moment from Bowen Hills heading inbound onto Hale Street, heading down towards Caxton Street as well. From the Australian Traffic Network, I'm Adam Smith with the latest traffic on ABC Radio Brisbane.
Good on you, Adam. Thanks so much. This is ABC.
It had been threatened. You know, I felt a 115 kilogram shadow of myself after the events.
They are bolshy. I'll say that for them. They've got spunk and they've got character, and that's to be commended. Making news this afternoon, Jeff, all states and territories will test coronavirus quarantine facility staff weekly in the wake of the Adelaide COVID-19 cluster. South Australia will be entering lockdown for 6 days from midnight after the outbreak, which is linked to people working at a quarantine hotel. The WA Labor Party has confirmed Hannah Beasley will replace Ben Wyatt as the party's candidate for Victoria
or the minimum distance that you kick it has to be 20 metres instead of what it is now. Maybe they're the change that we make. Someone said you bring in the rule they do in the SANFL where last man touches the ball out of bounds, the opposition gets to kick it. Everyone said when they did that it can't work. Well, it's worked.
This life.
And maybe
so,
a
Probably
future
wrote
one
the
too.
rules in a
BBC Sounds. Music.
Whoever, if it was a draw, whoever got the biggest first innings total would take the trophy. And in the end, that's how it played out. Somerset finished 301 all out in their first innings. Eddie Byram top scoring with 117, supported by Craig Overton with 66. Essex, thanks to a mammoth 172 runs from Sir Alistair Cook. No one else really making much of a difference. Wesley there on 51, but otherwise the top score.
What formation? You hadn't a clue who you should be picking. You hadn't a clue who was to be left out. It was absolutely start to finish an absolute load of rubbish.
Things about Mark Saggers, he just doesn't say what he really means. You know, he's got to make his point, I think.
I mean, it was pretty bad.
It really was.
It was, come on.
It was. Anyway, we're joined by our Icelandic TV presenter in Reykjavik, Thomas Thordarson. Morning, Thomas.
Yeah, morning. How are you, Paul?
Yeah, yes, I'm very well. Listen, it's great to speak to you. How are we feeling about a little later? Is there an excitement? Is there pretty much not interest? Or where do you stand at the moment?
Well, it's unbelievable to say this because, I mean, the English national team is basically our second favorite team here in Iceland after the Icelandic team. Because
Hold
we've
on.
been watching the.
Is that right? I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, the Premier League is just basically a religion in Iceland.
Sure.
There are people here that don't even know what league their hometown club plays in, but if you talk to them about Liverpool or Manchester United, they might just fight you. So this is, you know, we've always more or less root for England every big tournament until we started going to the final tournaments ourselves.
Yeah.
So when we played you guys in Nice, and have fond memories of that. that was one of the biggest sporting occasions in Icelandic history.
Thomas, I got to stop you there. It took you 1 minute to mention the game in Nice. I just want to let you know it's
footballers with dementia.
I
think Sir Jeff said something yesterday where he said he wouldn't practice heading. He would just play in the game and head it when necessary. I saw that as a craft. I saw that as I wanted people to say, oh, he's a really good header of the ball, scores lots of goals with his head. Whereas now, if you know,
see them top their group. A point will do it for Gareth.
With Julian, isn't it? Don't worry, you can tell me. I won't tell your mother.
No, but you'll tell everyone else in the town.
Claire.
We have called 5 younger guys up from the under 21s. Maybe another golden generation on their way. I mean, they just beat Ireland last 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So those are kids that might be going to the European Championships under 21, like our golden generation did in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a very, very, very exciting player there. 17-year-old Isak Bergman Johannesson, who all the media and even in England have been writing about since he was born in Manchester, where he lived when his father was playing for Burnley.
So he could he could play for England, is what you're saying?
Yeah, and that's actually been written a bit about. So we're just gonna we are not worried. He is of just a royalty of a football family here in Iceland. So there's not a chance he will play for England, but it will be good just to get that game, and so we never have to speak about it again.
How big of stars are the Icelandic players that play over here, like your Gylfi Sigurdsson and maybe even Rúnar Rúnarsson, who's at Arsenal? Do they have hero status when they come home?
Yeah, I mean, Gylfi Sigurdsson is maybe top 3 most adored sports figure in Icelandic folklore history. I mean,
is that right?
Yeah, I mean, he is just he's such a professional. I mean, you can just imagine, the standard he sets just now for other players, for other athletes. I mean, he's a guy. There's never any problems. He's never he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke. He wasn't that naturally gifted when he started out. I mean, he just went out and practiced and practiced and practiced and has come this unbelievably far. Solid man with a beautiful wife, and just he's such a stable character. On top of that, the best national player we've ever seen. So, but also the other guys. I mean, those guys that played in the European Championships and the World Cup, they all have hero status here in Iceland. There's no question about that. The joy they have brought us over the last 4, 5, 6 years is just you couldn't just imagine how important it has been to the nation.
I do want to mention Nice though, because it was an incredible moment. I mean, it was all a bit sore for us at the moment. We were sort of banging our heads on the floor, just thinking, what is going on here? But as far as it was a fantastic.
Well, it's certainly not graceful. No, it's not. Neither's what Darnay Van Niekerk's doing tonight, but it's very effective.
That was a slap over cover, that one, from Van Niekerk then. So that's her range at the moment. But yeah, Kimment's just, she's proven the difference in her last 3 turns at bat.
Great.
Great fielding in her follow through. And it's the end of the over, 1 for 91, and we have Megan Barnard down on the sideline with, it looks like, Elisa Healy.
Yeah, thanks, Mel. I'm down here with Elisa Healy, who's enjoying the spectacle in front of her. Pez and Darnay looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. Nice to get off to a really good start and build a nice platform here. I mean, the last couple of games we've lost a bit of momentum, so to keep going at 8 and over here, I think it's going to put us in good stead, hopefully.
A quick 5:44 of 22 for you. That must have felt good.
couple out of the middle. Finally, it's taken a little while, but it's always good coming up against the Thunder. It's always a good fixture here, so guess I'm getting a bit of my
You are. I should dodge something there.
But look, we're off to a good start, so hopefully we can capitalise and put a big total on the board.
Your teammates were pretty vocal while you were out there. Could you hear them from throughout the crease?
Yeah, we've made a bit of a point of getting behind one another. It's sort of been a rough couple of weeks for us, but hopefully we can come out, put a good performance on the board and, see if we can give the finals a shake. But if not, we're just going to have some fun along the way.
Yeah, what was the chat after the game yesterday in terms of only 3 games to go before you hit finals?
Well, the destiny's sort of in our hands and has been for the last week, so I guess that's a positive. But our effort was pretty good yesterday. But we knew we needed to come out today firing. Obviously against the Thunder, it helps a little bit. We get up extra for that, so hopefully, like I said, we can put a good total on the board and put them under pressure.
Well, the girls are looking pretty good. Thanks for your time. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Oh, great to get some insight from Healy as to where she's feeling after a breakout innings from a run of some off form, and also I love the fact that her teammates are getting her back. She's renowned for being cheeky and interrupting everyone else's interviews by doing silly things or throwing softballs and things that just nag at you. So how do you feel about the team getting her back?
It's great. I mean, she can hack it as well. She would dish it out if she couldn't.
Van Niekerk just having a piece of her South African teammate there. Just dealing in sixes.
Absolutely, Jen. That's the third 6 for Darnay Van Niekerk. She is looking to hit it out of the park as often as possible. Why not? Against her, probably a fast bowler for South Africa.
Was there a surer thing than Ishmael bowling the 11th over and the 12th over and stuff like that for the Thunder?
No, you know that she tends to finish her overs early.
Followed up power with just finesse, glides it for the single. Talk about some sibling rivalry, that international teammate rivalry must exist when they come across here to the WBBL and play against each other.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a bit of pride on the line. They want to be representing their country as well as their club.
Just misses out there, Perry.
Yeah, so the field's set very much for shorter length, isn't it? The deep cover, the fine leg, the third man and deep square. The drives are up, and that's where Van Niekerk and Perry have been looking to target. It takes a good shot, though. They need to allow the ball to arrive and then use those fast hands to get the elevation. That's close.
And given. Ishmael, she gets her second big wicket of the evening, this time adding Perry to her kit bag.
Well, it's that extra skid on, potentially under lights. Yes, the wicket's getting a bit lower because it's now the 8th match, I believe, consecutively on this pitch. But that extra factor with the under lights just tends to skid on a little bit. And that one certainly did. I mean, there's very little doubt in that. Hitting halfway up middle stump.
Well, it's a risk that Perry takes now that she bats on off stump, that if she gets squared up and misses it, that she's a heavy LBW candidate, and in this case she was. So 28 of 26 deliveries was Perry's work. It's now 2 for 98. That also completed the 12th over and Shabnam Ishmael's spell of 4 overs, so 2 for 32 from her 4 overs, and they're 2 big wickets to have in her bag, that of Healy and Perry.
Yeah, and how brilliant it is to take a wicket off the last ball of his spell. And she is absolutely fired up. Now it's Ishmael's job in the outfield. She's brilliant out there.
So the new batter who will be at the non-strikers end, because it was the last ball as you mentioned, is Erin Burns. She's, in the last few games, had a bit more of an opportunity with both bat. Maybe could probably do with a little bit more opportunity with ball as well.
Yeah, she's been very economical with the ball, so she could certainly take on more overs.
This one was heaved away. All the signals from Vanderkirk, very open stance, as you've mentioned, low in her stance, wants to swing it to leg side. She just looks like that's her go-to tonight.
Yeah, I think there's one way. It's dealing in boundaries for Van Niekerk, and interesting, I guess, with Burns there, who can do the same. What type of role might Burns look to play? Meeting Van Niekerk, who's 27, not out.
Also sweeping and gets it away finally, Erin Burns out with a boundary.
Yeah, it's a shot that she plays very well. Erin Burns. Burns has had a couple of 20s and 30s. She's got a great chance here with still 6 overs to go, 6 or 7.
That boundary also took the sixes over the 100 milestone. 2 for 103 they are currently. Lauren Smith, after that boundary, she went for 5 off the first 3 balls. Enough to work her way through the next 3. Erin Burns on strike. She drives her way through cover nicely. You would have played a fair bit of cricket with Erin Burns and against Erin Burns. The field's set up with, the deep mid-off out, and we might have to talk a bit more about her when she's back on strike.
It's hard to set a field to her.
Yeah, that's where I was heading. Couldn't quite get there. Thank you for help. Right, she'll be on strike now.
So to the off spinner, where do you set the field? Well, I think you need